The Cathera had ruled the Outer Rim for 3 millennia, their crimson warships cutting through space like cosmic predators. They were hunters by nature, collectors of species, and their trophy rooms aboard the massive dreadnought Blood Talon displayed the preserved remains of over 200 extinct civilizations. Commander Canet pressed his face against the viewing port of the human research vessel Endeavor, watching the alien fleet approach. Beside him, Dr. Malice checked her scanner readings for the 100th time, her brown eyes reflecting the distant glow of enemy engines. 37 ships, she whispered. They've never needed more than 5 to wipe out a species. Canet's jaw tightened. The Cathera had discovered Earth 6 months ago, and their message had been typically brief. Submit for harvesting or face extinction. You have 1 rotation of your planet to decide. Humanity's answer had been equally concise. They had sent the Endeavor alone. Are you certain this will work? Malice asked, her fingers dancing across the biological warfare console she had designed. Inside the ship's cargo hold, millions of microscopic organisms waited in stasis, Earth's most tenacious survivors, modified and weaponized. They hunt every species they find, Canet said grimly, but they've never hunted humans before. The lead Cathera vessel, a kilometer-long behemoth bristling with plasma cannons, moved into firing position. Through the communication array, a harsh, clicking voice filled the bridge. Primitive humans, your pathetic vessel amuses us. We expected more resistance from a species that dared refuse our terms. Canet activated the transmitter. This is Commander Canet of the Earth Defense Force. You want to hunt us? Come and try. The Cathera commander's laughter sounded like grinding metal. Bold words for prey. We shall add your skull to our collection with special honor. Actually, Malice interrupted, stepping forward, you've made a fundamental error in your calculations. Silence, female. Your words. You hunt other species, Malice continued calmly. But you've never encountered a species that evolved as persistence hunters. You've never met a species that refuses to give up, that turns being prey into being predator. The first plasma volley lit up space around the Endeavor. Canet threw the ship into evasive maneuvers, but several hits struck their shields. The ship shuddered but held together, human engineering at its finest. Now Malice. Dr. Malice activated her biological payload. Thousands of microscopic pods ejected from the Endeavor, spreading in all directions like a vast invisible cloud. To the Cathera sensors, they would appear as harmless debris from their plasma strikes. Is that your weapon? The alien commander's voice dripped with contempt. Biological warfare? We have encountered such primitive tactics before. Not like this, Malice said quietly. The pods, carried by solar wind and micro-thrusters, drifted toward the Cathera fleet. Each contained Earth's most resilient organisms, tardigrades, extremophile bacteria, and modified viruses, all engineered for one purpose: survival and rapid adaptation to alien environments. Minutes passed. The Cathera continued their bombardment, confident in their overwhelming firepower. The Endeavor's shields flickered and failed, but Canet kept the ship moving, drawing fire away from the drifting biological agents. Then the first Cathera ship went dark. What? The commander's transmission cut to static. Malice monitored her readings as chaos erupted across the enemy fleet. The organisms are breaching their hulls through microscopic gaps. Once inside, they're consuming everything: organic matter, metals, even their crystalline computer cores. And they're adapting to every countermeasure in real time. One by one, the Crimson warships began to fail. Emergency lights flickered on massive hulls as life support systems collapsed. The organisms weren't just destroying the ships. They were learning from them, becoming more efficient with each vessel they consumed. Impossible. The Cathera commander's voice returned, now filled with panic. These creatures are consuming our biofilters, our sterilization systems, our very atmosphere. Canet smiled grimly. You hunt other species, but humans? We weaponize everything, including life itself. We don't just fight. We turn our entire planet into ammunition. The Blood Talon, the massive flagship, tried to retreat, but it was too late. The organisms had already infiltrated its systems. Through the viewports, Canet could see the interior lights dying section by section. This is impossible, the commander screamed. We are the hunters. We are the apex predators of the galaxy. You were, Malice said softly. But you made one critical mistake. You chose to hunt a species that spent millions of years learning to never give up. You chose to hunt persistence predators who turn every disadvantage into a weapon. The last Kythera transmission was barely audible through the static. Tell the others. Never hunt. The humans, then silence. As the alien fleet drifted dead in space, consumed by Earth's microscopic hunters, Kanat opened a channel to Earth Command. Mission successful. The Kythera threat has been neutralized. Understood, Endeavor. What's the status of the biological agents? Mally's checked her scanners. They're entering dormancy phase now that their food source is exhausted. They'll remain inactive until they detect another hostile alien presence. Kanat looked out at the debris field that had once been the galaxy's most feared hunting fleet. Any word from other Kythera territories? The reply from Earth was tinged with dark satisfaction. Long-range communications are picking up massive fleet retreats from 17 sectors. Apparently, word travels fast. It seems the hunters have become the hunted. Dr. Malice began collecting samples of the now dormant organisms. They hunted every species they found, she murmured. But they never understood. When you hunt humans, you're not just fighting individuals. You're fighting an entire biosphere that spent 4 billion years perfecting survival. As the Endeavor turned toward home, Kanat reflected on humanity's newest reputation spreading across the galaxy. They had wanted to hunt humans like any other prey species. Instead, they had awakened something far more dangerous. A species that didn't just survive extinction, but turned the very concept of extinction into a weapon. Behind them, the microscopic guardians drifted through space, waiting patiently for the next predator foolish enough to threaten their creators. Earth had been hunted. Earth had hunted back. And across the galaxy, the word was spreading. Never hunt the humans.